Columbia Sportswear is one of Oregon's most high-profile companies and a giant in the outdoor apparel industry. The multi-billion-dollar company has outfitted everyone from professional athletes to news anchors and pioneered technology including Gore-Tex and the Omni-Tech technology that went to the moon. Tim Boyle is the Chairman, CEO, and President of Columbia Sportswear. Born and raised in Portland, he's an Oregon Duck, a major philanthropist, and one of Oregon's 3 billionaires, as reported by Forbes magazine. Tim Boyle, thanks for being on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Well, thrilled to be here. Thanks for including me.
Well, Columbia Sportswear released its first quarter earnings report last month. You had slight increases in net sales and earnings per share, but you didn't release a full year outlook for 2025 because of what you call tariff uncertainty.
Yes.
So how is the tariff situation affecting Columbia Sportswear?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Columbia in 2024 was the 81st largest duty payer in the United States, and we're not the 81st largest company. Our category of merchandise, which is footwear and apparel, is among the most heavily tariffed today under the code. So we're used to paying tariffs. We pay tariffs everywhere in the world almost that we do business. But with the current administration's lack of clarity on what the final tariffs will be on our products, we just can't, we don't know what we're going to be paying for the products.
How much of your product is made overseas?
Almost everything's made in either Asia or Central America.
And so when you talk about tariffs, I mean, how do you pass that on in terms of prices? Are your prices going to go up?
Well, our products have included tariffs for many, many years, since the 30s, frankly. So we've passed on those prices for the last, what was that, 100 years almost? So our products contain many, many costs, including the cost of fabric, the cost to get the merchandise here by boat or air, and tariffs. So they all are components to what we're going to be charging. But we've been charging for it. Consumers have been paying tariffs on our products since the 30s.
The president says the tariffs are meant to encourage manufacturing to come back to the U.S. Is that feasible, especially in your industry?
No. No, it's not. In fact, you know, we're in the footwear business. We're not as big as clearly many of the footwear vendors here in Portland, but footwear is a very complicated manufacturing process, and many of the factories that make the famous footwear products that are here in Portland include 100,000, maybe 120,000 people. And there's just no way that we could find a place in the world to have, or a place in the United States to have multiple 100,000 employee facilities. So for footwear, certainly no, and apparel also impossible. The fabrics that contain in our products are all made outside the U.S. So it's just not feasible to make the products here.
Critics of the president's budget claim that it gives tax breaks to billionaires at the expense of things like Medicaid and food assistance benefits. Being a billionaire yourself, what do you think about that?
Well, we're much more focused on making sales than paying taxes. I mean, taxes will be a natural part of what we do. And if you're a citizen of Portland, Oregon, you know taxes are prevalent and some could argue high. But our whole focus is on sales, so we can have a high, rapidly growing, high profit business. We're happy to pay taxes.
Yeah, this sounds like a simple and a dumb question, but you know, many of us will never experience what it's like to be a billionaire. What is that like, man?
Well, you know, I don't do too many things differently than everybody else that I know.
Yeah.
You know, we live a simple life, and we're very fortunate, and so I've got not many complaints other than the trash in the city of Portland, which, regardless of how much money you have, doesn't seem to be something that anybody can do anything about.
Well, let's talk about that. In recent years, you have been critical of the state of downtown Portland for your employees who work in the city especially. Columbia Sportswear still has a presence in the central city. So have you seen any improvement? You heard what Chief Day said.
Right.
I mean, what do you categorize as the state of downtown Portland now, especially central city?
Good point. I'm a big Bob Day fan, so he's one of the reasons we're still very focused on the city of Portland, because we see the hope that he brings. But I guess I would characterize it by there's been improvement, and no question about it. We have visitors from around the world visiting our operations and staying in downtown Portland, and they tell us, hey, it's better. It's still not all the way to good, frankly, in my opinion. And the simple things about picking up trash around the city, the freeway system is still a mess, in my opinion. Those things could be improved, and if it's that difficult to pick up trash, we have a problem.
Well, we've got a new mayor, we've got a new city council that is going through the budget process right now. Does that give you more optimism for the future?
I'd love to see it happen person. So I'll be the first cheerleader to say they're doing a great job if I see improvements in cleanliness in the city.
Your mom, Gert Boyle, was the face of Columbia Sportswear for many years before she passed away in 2019. She was 95 years old. What's her legacy with the company?
Well, you know, I think almost everybody knows the story of the company. My grandparents were immigrants from Nazi Germany, and my mom was one of the few people in the world to see Roosevelt, FDR, and Hitler in person. So she saw the best of the world and the worst. And so that's always focused our company on the importance of immigration, how that can be a rich career path for people who have an exposure to people around the world of different religions, different skin tones, different ways of life, different languages. And I think from her specific legacy, it's about being inclusive and understanding how important that is in business.
We've got about a minute left, but I do want to mention this before we leave. In February of 2024, your Omni Heat Infinity fabric was used to wrap a private lunar lander from Intuitive Machines that circled the moon. How cool was that?
Oh, it was great. In fact, yesterday, the executives from Intuitive Machines were in our offices and gave a great presentation to our employees where we talked about how critical our stuff, our Omni Heat Infinity was to the lunar lander project that just happened. We've been on 2 now. And additionally, we're adding a component that was invented here in Portland called Sun Deflector, which is a method to deflect sun, which has been used and will be used on future spacecraft. So it's a real thrill, and it's a real testament to the team that we have in Portland.
Tim Boyle, CEO, Chairman, President of Columbia Sportswear. Thanks for coming in and being on Eye on Northwest Politics. This is fun.
It's great to be here, and thank you for including me.
We'll be right back.